I'm just biting off a callus. It's really a problem.
Oh, hey, we're back for another Boss episode or whatever we're going to call it. We call it that because we're taking these questions from Bottle Spray. Maybe you've heard of it. John Horton, he's got a great website, great forum. You can learn a lot of stuff there. Check it out if you haven't. Rob's currently ingesting some of his callus.
No, I'm not ingesting. I'm trying to rip it off. Look after
trying to rip off some of his callus. So this is we're going to get right to it. I got a question here for Rob from the forum. Mr. Horton says, what's the one thing that separates you from the next 6 buoys? Rob?
It's very deep. I didn't know that was... I feel heartfelt after that.
Well, here's the problem is Rob's PB in a tournament is...
I'm not getting 6 buoys from it. I can tell you that.
Your Rob's PB in a tournament is...
4 at 41.
4 at 41 off. So what's separating you from 4 at 43 off?
Getting a lot taller.
Yeah. Grow those arms. Okay, what's separating you from the next 3 buoys?
In serious, me or in general?
You and then,
All right,
and then most people.
What's separating me, essentially, where do I need to get better?
Yep.
Talked about this a lot. Position, pretty much. Okay. I feel like I had a big squatting, well, not a big squatting issue, big's a, maybe harm myself.
Slight, yeah.
Had a bit of a squatting issue into first wake, especially on the gate, which is currently being resolved. Hopefully working on it. It's got a lot better in the last few months. And then that was causing a lot of problems off second wake. I was having to come off edge early, swinging my feet that way very early, and then I could run some great 39s, but I get to 41, I'd pull up from my gates, pretty much close my eyes, shut off the brain, and go try a bit harder.
Yep.
And the last month, pretty much, essentially, if you watch me ski at Miami, first of all, I apologize.
Miami Pro, last event of the year.
Not great. But I got home, I took a week off, I needed a break. I didn't actually, I kind of really went to ski, but we had a hurricane and it was a problem.
Those hurricanes.
Found some, just was like, right, I just going to put some settings on there, tried some new settings and skied by far the best I ever have. And in the last month, it's pretty much solely been able to carry a little bit more speed through that gate, set a little bit of a taller position so that I can be lighter earlier whilst carrying the same speed.
Yep.
And then my feet aren't swinging as rapidly and pressurized on 41. And a lot of that shameless plug is helped by my new ski, but I love it. That's true. Syndicate works I won.
What's happening on your feet has to do with how you're standing on the ski. It also has to do with the shape of the ski and how it functions. Yep. But you just brought up a great point. I think what's holding most people back from the next 6 buoys. Sorry.
What's holding me back? You asked me the question. Now I get to you've got a sore back, so you can't. But what's holding me back from the next 3 buoys?
I think you nailed it. I think it's dynamic position into the wakes, because that, number one, helps you create more effortless acceleration or more acceleration for the same rope load.
Yeah, because it's not gonna be effortless.
No, it's not effortless. That's wrong.
And a lot of people lose that. They go, it needs to be effortless, so they stand.
It's going to be a battle, but it's a battle in time and rhythm with the boat. But more dynamic movement, slight more dynamic movement in the center line is just going to create more angle and speed for the same rope tension, so that from center line out, like you said, your feet can still be even less pressurized, and you'll have more tension in the rope, which will flick you further higher on the side of the boat. Earlier, speed runs out. Now you're running 41 like 39.
Like it's not. Right, we've started this Bottle Spray episode very technically. We've started very 41-esque. Let's go back a bit. What's holding most people back?
Most people, it's honestly enough, it's the same thing. It's from center line out. It's what's happening from the center of the wakes out to the buoy. Generally speaking, people lose rope load instantaneously. Yeah. In my opinion, the rope load goes to 0 because when they transition, they think they just kind of have to come to the inside. And now, even if you keep the rope tight, even if you stay connected with the handle to your body or the arms to your body, you can still have the rope load go to pretty much 0 if your feet move too quick. Oddly enough, that all is because of what you're doing usually from the buoy to center line.
Yeah, so that's where I was going to come back in behind you and say
is a function of what's happening into center line.
Yeah. So in simple terms, because I'm getting better at decoding Marcus, the dreaded engineer in the corner. In simple terms, set a better position into first wake. Set a better position at the finish of the buoy. It's not all about leaning. It's not all about pulling as hard as you can. If your position is there, you will be way better than anything. Stand tall. Make sure your hips are set. Make sure you are in a tall, aligned position on the middle of your ski. Basically, skis here, stand here, and then kind of deal that way, you know? If things are bent and crooked, that's not good. And then make sure that you're managing and dispersing that load off the second side and not just jumping off and inside, is the way that I would put that into my words.
Basically, what Rob said at the beginning, the more you squat,
The worse it is.
the more you're going to go back. The more you squat as you load into the first wake, anatomically speaking, unless you have hypermobile ankles and your knees go really far forward, when you squat, your butt goes back, you lose your balance on the ski.
All right, we haven't got stuck in an hour-long rabbit hole or a 20-minute-long rabbit hole
Not
like
yet.
some of the other episodes.
Not yet.
So we're going to ask another question. And this one I actually really like because I think there's a lot of rumour around him. There's a lot of some people say some weird stuff about him. And the question is... I've lost the question. Okay, the question is... I know what the question is, but I can't find the wording. I want to get it right. What's the one special thing that Joel Howley does?
Hey.
Everyone talks about his bindings. Everyone talks about position.
Well, Joel was here, actually, after the Cali Pro-Am.
What a guy.
What a great guy. Well, I'd say, number one, you wouldn't argue with this, I don't think. Number one, passionate. He's a passionate skier.
Loves it.
Loves it. Number two, he does not give up, right? He doesn't give up. Number three...
I feel like we could drop in Paris. Not
Worlds.
Paris. Malaysia,
Worlds.
2022.
Yep.
World champion.
Yep, doesn't give up.
There it is. Ouch.
Case in point. Number three, he always finds position again on the ski when the boat can see him. So when he's under load, between the buoy and centerline, he always finds position again on the ski. There's a lot. I mean,
There is a lot.
but the last thing, and he talked about this on the thread on Ball Spray where we got this question from. The last thing he talked about was he's able to swing around the pylon outbound from centerline out. He's able to manage the way his feet move better than he has in the past. He's able to do that in a way that I don't think is actually optimized because he's getting compressed.
He does get very compressed.
And I think it's a bigger issue. I think he would run 41 more consistently if he could manage that better.
I was thinking we've just answered what's the extra three
first
buoys
thing.
for Joel Howley.
Oh yeah, the extra 3 buoys
See,
for Joel.
Careful.
We've got some
trick.
trick.
Secret, obviously.
We'd love to have a chat, Joel.
Sure
Let's do it.
I'm sure you hadn't figured that one.
I know. He already knows
exactly
it.
what he's doing.
What do you think?
And I
What do you
agree
think?
100%. The one thing that I think that Joel Howley does an incredible job of, he's very aggressive.
Yes.
He's incredibly aggressive. He carries a ton of speed into centerline. Just so much angle, so much dedication, weird choice of words, but he's
dedicated. Committed. He's
in
committed.
centerline. So he has speed. What most people can't do, and like you say, what his weakness, I believe, is then he gets crushed off centerline. But he carries so much speed into first wake, and he does a fantastic job of keeping direction off centerline. Yes, he gets crushed. Yes, he's going to come in a little bit quicker than he does, but he has the wahongas to turn it.
He does.
He came into 2 at 41 quite a lot of times at California Pro-Am in positions that you shouldn't turn.
Never.
Or 4. And just, you talk about passion, and I spent the week with him after California Pro this year with him. And so much passion for the sport. And I love kind of being around that because I feel like we are too. But he put so much passion into his ski design and making sure fins dialed, everything's that his setups.
And his share boot.
The
big yellow boot.
They are weird boots, Joel. We know that. He knows that. Says it.
He's not stoked on it, but it's what works. He's found something that works. You can't change what works. It's a magic recipe. Don't change it, Joel.
But he's so passionate about getting his setup dialed in, and most importantly, he doesn't then allow that to be his excuse. He, like you say, he hides from the boat, and I think the one thing that I think he does best, in my opinion, especially out of his offside, I think his onside's there's some funky stuff in there that he manages very well, but he gets so much angle so early through the backside of it, and when most people go woohoo and lean on it, he moves back to that wake with that angle and builds load with that. Angle doesn't mean load. Angle doesn't mean anything other than angle.
If you optimize your body position, that's what I think he does well on that outside.
Angle with speed, and then he gets the load a little bit later, even though he has a ton of angle, and that sets him on a super easy line. So even though he gets pretty compressed off second side because of the insane line that he's taken into first wake and the insane speed, he's out there early enough to shut down. But Joel Howley, we love your skiing. We love you as a person. You have a lot of energy, obviously. But
great guy, and he's got one of those guys that has a real job.
And go check actually check
YouTube,
the
Instagram,
forum, and go check the forum because he did actually reply and answer the question himself.
He did. He engaged. It was awesome.
He engaged. It was awesome to see. And I guess that is Ball of Spray. I think that was the first one that we've had 2 questions in.
We've finished 2 topics in 1 episode.
Maybe we'll get 3 in next time without any rabbit holes. But
see.
Thank you for watching, listening, viewing. any suggestions, any questions. We don't have to do ball or spare every time. We can answer your questions.
Yes.
So please.
This is more like a Q&A, right?
Send us a DM. Me, Marcus, Jenny.
Comment below.
Comment below if you're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, and we will see or listen to you guys in the next one.
See ya.
Peace, I guess.